All eyes are on 4 states, including Arizona, as ballots are counted in the 2020 presidential election. This view from Maricopa County Elections Department shows workers there processing early ballots. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden currently leads President Trump in Arizona's largest county and in the state.
Pima County election officials say there are still more than 40,000 votes to count. Of those, 26,000 are early ballots dropped at the poll and 18,000 provisional ballots. The county recorder turned over 22,000 ballots this morning to the county elections office. Election officials expect the count to be finished by Saturday afternoon. And good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm John Overall.
And I'm Priscilla Casper. Votes still being counted across the country 2 days after the polls closed.
Joe Biden does have a comfortable lead over President Trump in the race for electoral college votes, but some of the state tabulation systems are sure to be questioned in court. As the battlegrounds finalize their vote counts, Democrat Joe Biden is gaining ground in a game of inches.
We have no doubt that when the count is finished, Senator Harris and I will be declared the winners. So I ask everyone to stay calm, all the people to stay calm. The process is working.
President Trump hoping to chisel his own path to victory, filing a flurry of lawsuits to stop the counting in Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Nevada, where Trump campaign officials spoke today.
Ballots are not automatically legal votes until they're checked. We are not being allowed to check.
The Trump team claiming fraud but offering zero evidence, and campaigns don't verify ballots. Elections officials do.
We are not aware of any improper ballots that are being processed.
Give us access!
But on both sides today, very serious concerns. Protesters gathering outside a Philadelphia counting center forced to pause its work this afternoon because of a legal challenge. The mail-in ballots being counted there have trended strongly for Biden, rapidly eroding the president's lead in Pennsylvania. On Twitter, President Trump demanding stop the count. Several other tweets claiming fraud were flagged as potentially misleading. Biden offering a starkly different message to be patient, saying, "We feel good about where we are." The day began with a tightening race in Georgia, Biden closing the gap on the president's lead. And the opposite in Arizona, where Biden had a narrow edge. As the count grinds on, tensions building in the streets, with America watching and waiting. Just moments ago, the president did speak. We'll have much more on what he had to say coming up at 6 o'clock. Meantime, there's a setback today in the president's quest to stop counting ballots. A Michigan judge denied a request from the Trump campaign, which asked the state to stop counting absentee votes. And in Georgia, a judge threw out a lawsuit over absentee ballots.
Meanwhile, Maricopa County election officials are preparing for another night of protests. Today, a fence was installed surrounding the Maricopa County Elections Department. Officials say they want to protect ballot counters and ensure citizens are able to exercise their right to free speech. A free speech zone has been sectioned off for protesters. Overnight, supporters of President Trump gathered, claiming there's been miscounting. They demanded to be let in to observe ballot counting. Anxious supporters of President Trump and challenger Joe Biden are also out in the cities across the country. Supporters of Democratic Joe Biden turning out to demand that officials nationwide count every vote. Meanwhile, supporters of President Trump are out as well, protesting the continuation of vote counting in some states. With ballots still being processed throughout the state, where are we here in Pima County? News 4 Tucson's Mark Mangura spoke with the Pima County Elections Director to see just how many ballots are left. Mark.
Priscilla, we're right on schedule here in Pima County. The Elections Department says that where they're at in the county process is normal. They still have those early ballots and provisional ballots left to be counted. Now, if you look at the results on azsos.gov, it shows that 100% of precincts are reporting. Now, that means that all of the in-person votes cast on Election Day have been accounted for. If you had to cast a provisional ballot on Election Day, those still need to be counted. And there's approximately 18,000 of those. And according to the election department, historically, 80% of those will be verified for count. The other 20% that doesn't get counted is typically ballots where people voted by mail and in person. And the provisionals get thrown out so someone doesn't get 2 votes. Provisional ballots are also not counted for people who did not register to vote in time. And again, there's also about 27,000 early ballots that still need to be counted.
We'll be counting, I think, about 20,000 of those early ballots that were dropped off at the polls, and probably the balance of early ballots will be tabulated and reported by close of business tomorrow.
So in total, there's about 45,000 ballots left to be counted here in Pima County. 20,000 of those expected to be done today, and most, if not all of them, actually expected to be finished by close of business tomorrow. We've got you covered from the Pima County Recorder's Office. I'm Mark Mangura, News 4 Tucson.